Hey TPT sellers, it's Wednesday, February 6th, last day of the TPT February sales, and my sales are tanking. Are your sales down? Wait, is this because of all those TPT spam stores? No, probably not. And here's why. This episode is for TPT hawks. If you're not sure what I mean by that, click on the link at the top for the full business course for TPT sellers. My TPT sales are down. If I chat with people in forums, I bet you I can find some other people who are also down. And then we start to think, oh no, our sales are down. Maybe the whole platform is going down. And then we start to look for reasons why our sales might be down. Our first thought is to say it's because of those TPT spam stores. But maybe we need to take a step back and wonder, is it because of those TPT spam stores? Could it be because of the spammy low quality stores? And that's dragging down the sales on my store as well? Okay, let's think about that for a second. Here's why I think my sales going down is probably not related to the spam stores. If I go to SEMrush and look at their clickstream data, I can see how often people visit TPT. So December had a dip, and that's probably because of seasonal stuff as opposed to TPT spam. And then in January, it's estimated around 19.2 million visits. If we look at unique visitors, 7.7 million unique visitors. Is it because of the spam? If I look at these dates, July, August, September, they're around 7 or 8 million visitors per month. In December, we saw a dip, but that's probably because of seasonal stuff as opposed to the quality of the platform. And then in January, the early estimates is around 7.7 million visitors. So people are still visiting TPT. I think if I find other TPT sellers who are also struggling in sales right now, we don't have enough data from our Facebook groups or our membership forums to be able to compare that to 7.7 million visits. We have to look for other reasons why our store might not be doing as great as we want it to. By the way, SEMrush does have purchase conversion data. I just can't access it. I need to spend $2,000. A couple of weeks ago, I was chatting with a TPT seller in our Saturday club, and they pointed out, why don't you wait until you have enough money before you buy that thing? So I'm going to wait until I have enough money. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, then, we'll start to make a couple of pennies per month, and the snowball grows. Being able to look at predicted conversion rates on TPT, I think that'll be interesting. We can't say all TPT sales are down. What we can say is my TPT sales are down. And so now I need to figure out why my sales are down. And more importantly, what am I going to do about it? Here are my sales. As you can see, if I compare to last year, right now I have 382. Last year I made 2620. And you can see just from here, there's a huge dip. Last year today, February 7th, I made almost $400 on the last day of the sale. On the first day of the sale, I made $182. This year I made $63. So that's a third. I need to pay attention to what's going on. If I look at units sold, it's about the same. There's not as many units that are being sold. If I look at page views, I can see that my page views are pretty close. I mean, there's a little bit of a dip. Maybe that's because I'm not running ads, but it's not because I'm not ranking high enough in search, I don't believe. So I need to figure out what's going on here. I'm going to look at my product stats CSV and my sales data CSV using freesellertool.com, the Google Sheet tool. I'm using the data locker. And if I show you my data locker really quickly, you can see I have data from December 31st, 2022. That's my product stats CSV data. And I have it all the way down to today. I've uploaded today's data, which is February 7th, 2024. If I look at my TPT sales data, I can see I've uploaded up to February 6th. So I'm going to start with the top 5 dashboard. And the top 5 dashboard is free. It's on freesellertool.com. I'm on the top 5 dashboard and I want to see how my resources are doing compared to last year. This week, I've made $109. Last week, I made $1,100, so $1,000 less so far. And I tend to sell better earlier in the week than later on. So I'm not hopeful that I'm going to catch up $1,000. If I look at this week versus last week, right away, the big difference for me that I notice is last year I sold 2 everything bundles, but more importantly, the reading comprehension strategies bundle, I sold 28 last year. This week. And this week so far, I've only sold 3. So that's huge. I need to figure out what's going on in my reading comprehension bundle. My first question is, what's different compared to last year? Has my product description changed? What am I doing differently? I've actually been saving the HTML for my product pages since last year. So I can compare this. Let's just find the reading bundle from this time last year. I can tell from the date here, February 9th. Click the video up there. It'll walk you through how to use the free Chrome extension to download your page stats. If I look at February 9th, and I'm just going to put this on the right-hand side here, and I'm going to open today's bundle, and I'll make it the same size. So I can see up here, this is my HTML file, and I can see there's a timestamp here. So this is February 9th, which is around that time. My title is pretty similar. I have differentiated reading passages. Last time I had article readings and worksheets, so that could be a difference. Oh, interesting that I have 30 ratings compared to 15 last year. My product cover looks pretty similar. I'm looking to see what the difference could be. Have I made a mistake by accident and it's crushed my resource here? So grade 6 to 9, the categories are the same. Reading strategies, right? Worksheets and lessons. The pricing is the same, $35. So this was just after the sale last time. It's $28 on sale right now. The number of resources, it looks like I've added a resource this year. It's 18 versus 17 last year. But really what it could be is my product description. Maybe I've changed something in my product description. One of the things I've been trying in my product descriptions is saying right away what's in here to make it more clear. Hey, 6 reading comprehension strategy lessons, 6 differentiated passages. And then I have some social proof with what teachers are saying. And then I explain what's in each thing. Last time I was talking about vague things like you get 6 reading comprehension strategies, whereas this time I'm kind of talking about the unit plan outline. It's much more explicit in terms of what's in here. Now I wonder, should I just copy the old product description into my current product description and hope that it makes it better? And I think that would be premature. I need to dig a little bit deeper to find out why last year I sold 28 units and this year I sold 3. Is it because there's not enough page views? Is it because people land there but they're not looking at the product preview? Is it because they look at the product preview but they don't convert? I have to figure out where that is. Normally we can't tell this information in the product stats CSV because the product stats CSV is lifetime stats, and really we need to break it down into specific time periods. So I'm going to use the ABC dashboard. I can compare product stats CSVs from different points in time. And what I've done here, the first thing I did was I had to figure out what product number it is in the product stats CSV. So here it is. Here's my reading comprehension bundle. It's product number 45. And I made sure that my product stats CSV was 45. So we're only looking at the product stats CSV data for that reading bundle, product number 45. And I looked up the last year, the sale date was February 7th to 8th. And this year it's February 6th to February 7th. They're Tuesday, Wednesdays, always that days. And I realized that I can't use the product stats CSV from February 7th because it doesn't include all of the data on February 7th. So I realized now I actually have to take the data from the day before and the day after. What I've done here is in timestamp A, this is the start of the sale date, February 6, 2023. So a day before the sale started last year. In time point B, the sale ended February 8th, 2023, and I have my product stats CSV February 9th, 2023. This year, the sale started on February 6th, so I have a product stats CSV for February 5th. Then I have the latest data, which is February 7th. The product stats CSV, it's not live. It gets updated in certain chunks of time. So today's data is going to be a little bit off, but today's data is probably reflecting yesterday's sales. So the ABCD tool pulls out the product stat CSV lines for product number 45 from the different product stat CSV files. And just by themselves, my sold rate doesn't look like it's like, how can you tell 2.2 versus 2.4? It's hard to tell from the lifetime span of the products. Really, we need the difference between A to B and the difference between C to D. And that's what this is showing up here. I'm going to make this a little bit larger so it's easier for us to see. This is last year's sale, and I'll italicize last year's sales. So last year during the sale period, I had 354 page views. That might not be a huge difference with this year. I know it says 128 and maybe I should be worried, but 128 is probably only counting yesterday. If I double that for today, it seems reasonable that it's going to be around the same, slightly less. It could be because of ads. If I look at the product preview rate, I see that last year during the February 2023 sale, my product preview rate was 32%. This year it's 45%. That means last year during the February 2023 sale, people landed on my product. They read the product description and then they decided, oh, I'm interested. And then they went up here and they said, hey, let's look at the product preview. No, it won't let me do it. This year, same thing. People are reading the product description, but because I've added more explicitly a table of contents, what's in it, people are more interested in finding out more about this information. So then they are going up here to the top of this page and they're clicking the product preview PDF. That tells me that the new way that I'm doing the product description is having a good effect. It's increasing the product preview rate. But the big difference here is last year, the conversion rate was 4.5%. This year, it's 2.3%. My conversion rate for my best-selling product during the February sale is half of what it was last year. That's significant. If I opened up the tab and look at the raw data, last year I had 115 product previews and this year I had 57. And I know we're thinking like, oh, you had more product previews last year, therefore your product description isn't working. But we actually have to compare it versus the page views. We have to compare that product preview rate. It's a percentage. The number sold is last year 16 during the sale, this year 3. After I record this video, I need to look at my product preview to try to figure out why the conversion rate is lower. Yes, in theory, people could just read the product description and then buy it. But if you're buying a $35 resource, you're going to look at the product preview to make sure it is what you want it to be. So I need to figure out what's in my product preview that has changed from last year because that is affecting my conversion rate. And I need to do that quickly because there's only 14 hours left in the sale. Here's the takeaway. If you want to start being able to do this kind of analysis, you need to start downloading your product stats CSV on a regular basis. I download my product stats CSV whenever I upload a new product or whenever I update a product. If you want to do your own top 5 analysis, you can do that now because that uses the sales data CSV and you can download your past data. If you're interested in doing an ABC analysis for free, check out this video here. And if you learned something new, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.